So number 2 takes a lot of space, and it's kind of like a weird little special case, so I made a whole new page of it, and this is how it's going to go. Hopefully you look at this problem, and you can kind of guess of what the u is. And I actually did a little bit of research on this problem because in my mind I kind of came up with like 2 or 3 different ways I thought I could do it, and those 2 or 3 different ways kind of work, but I kept making a little bit of errors. So this is the decision I end up making for my u, just because I thought it'd work a little bit easier. So we know that's the same thing as 2x minus 1 to the 1/2. So when you go, I always forget the slash. When you go to derive this, you take the 1/2 out in front, leave the 2x minus 1, integrate that, which gives you negative 1/2, and then integrate the inside. So chain rule right there. And we did this with respect to x. So the 2's go away, and that gives us this. Okay, we end up needing to solve for dx like we typically do, and if we do that, we would just multiply by the reciprocal, and we get the square root of 2x minus 1 du. Okay, so if we keep going on our typical way of solving this, we end up having, and I'm not putting the restraints yet, or the boundaries, x over u, and then with this, hopefully you're noticing you're not going to get rid of the x, and that's why there's this weird special case. So there's an additional step with this one, and it's not too bad, it's just this is really weird. Alright, so we multiply by what we're replacing the dx with, which is the square root of 2x minus 1 du. I'm hoping you start to realize something about this 2x minus 1. Well, this 2x minus 1 happens to be what we used as our u. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually put the u in place of that. Okay, so we get x over u times u du. And we're putting the terms of u in there because we can't get rid of it with anything. It actually almost makes this problem more complicated. But with this, we can actually get rid of the u, and we're left with x du. Now here's where I can see situations going on. You see the x, you think you're good to go, but unfortunately we're not. Ooh, that was weird, I didn't like that. Redo. Okay, so we're integrating with respect to u, not with respect to x. So we have to get this x in terms of u, and the only way to do that is to take this and solve for x. So we get u equals the square root of 2x minus 1. To solve for it, we're going to square both sides, and you get u squared equals 2x minus 1. You add the 1 over, and divide by 2. Alright, so we're going to replace this x with that u squared plus 1 over 2 du. And we're going to do one more step with this integral, and we know u squared plus 1 divided by 2 is the same thing as 1/2 multiplying that u squared plus 1. So I'm going to kick out the 1/2. Alright, the next thing we have to do before this problem is pretty much a breeze, because this problem's not easy, is we have to change the upper and lower boundaries. So the lower boundary is x equals 1, what it started with, and we have to find that by plugging it into u. Well, if you do 2 times 1, it's 2, so you have 2 minus 1. 2 minus 1 is 1, so the square root of 1 is 1. So our lower boundary happens to be 1 again, and then we're going to plug in 5. And if you do that, you get 10 minus 1, which is 9, and that equals 3. So our boundaries are 1 and 3. So we're going to go ahead and integrate this. So I get 1/2, and then if you integrate u squared, it's 1/3 u cubed. If you integrate 1, it's just u, and we're doing it from 1 to 3. Okay, so I'm going to leave the 1/2 right there. Actually, I'm going to leave the 1/2. I'm going to put the 1/2 through both of them just so I don't forget about it. Put the 3 in and you get 27 over 3. And I know it simplifies, but actually we'll just back up. Yeah, we'll simplify it. Alright, so you get 1/3. You multiply in that by 27. I'm just going to write this all out. Plus 1. Minus, and I'm going to keep the half again. I'm distributing like I said. And you're going to do 1/3 plus 1, and I made it, oops. I actually have recorded this video already once, and I made a mistake, and I knew it, so I just quit, And so if I make a mistake on this, I'm probably not fixing it. I swear this is all right. My whole day of recording, my brain's losing it. Okay, so you're plugging 3 into here, so I really should have a 3 there. And 1/3 into here and 1 into there, so voila. Okay, so 1/2. You really have 27 divided by 3, and yes, I'm putting this in my calculator because I don't want to make a mistake. And you add the 3 and you get 12. And then we have 1/3 plus 1, which is 4/3, but we really have a half out here. Okay, so we really have 6 minus, and this cancels and gives you 2 minus 2/3. 6 times 3 is 18, so we really have 18/3 minus 2/3, and voila, your answer is 16/3, and I know that's right because I've checked it a bajillion times. All right, that is your answer. If you have any questions, get a hold of me. Tomorrow I'll answer questions on daily practice. All right, thanks, bye.